What up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? Savage Writer back with another video as always. Giving y'all peace and I'm giving y'all gifts. So I hope y'all having a wonderful day so far. And month April is rapidly coming to a close. So Alright, so like this video, I'm gonna do things differently today. I know this may not get a lot of views, I'm not sure, but I don't care because I want to talk about some stuff. So shout out to 603 Joey, dope content, enlightening the masses, sharing his story. I appreciate you, brother. Much love and much respect. And I was watching a series of his videos talking about his life in shambles, him sharing his story of how he got to where he was at, in the present day. And I kind of wanted to share my own story. I may have done this in a couple of videos, but I want to go more in depth about how I feel about my life and my career and how I ended up where I'm at, because I was inspired by him. I'm not copying no one. This isn't to emulate anyone. I'm just inspired by that, and I wanted to share my own take. So as y'all all may know me, I go by Savage Writer. I came up with that name in 2016. I don't know how it really came about. I knew the meaning, but it was just something that I started to call myself, but more on that later. So I'm gonna take it back to 1998, because that's the year I was born. 21 right now. I was born at Beth Israel Hospital in the city of Newark, New Jersey. Where I grew up, born and raised here, of course. And I know in the media, Newark has a stigma that it's a lot of violence, there's a lot of crime and all that shit. I mean, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Yeah, in the past, Newark wasn't really the place to be. It really was not. It was bad at one point. After we had the riots and stuff like that, that's when crime rates really started going up. And in recent years, the city is getting their act together. I commend them for that. Though there are still bumps in the road, nevertheless, the Newark that I see now is different from the Newark that I saw maybe 10 or 15 years ago. So yeah, I was born in Beth Israel Hospital, Newark, New Jersey, at 5 in the evening on December 22nd, 1998. So yeah, I'm a Capricorn. My mom was a good parent. She did what she could, but more on that later. So, my dad, he passed away when I was a year old. Over a year old, in fact. He died in 2000, March 1st. The 20th anniversary was, I want to say last month. Yeah, and it's crazy. And I'm 21, and my father's been dead for 21. Let me rephrase that. I'm 21, and my father's been dead for like 20 years. So it's crazy to think about. But yeah, that's my reality. That was my reality. And that really was what started to begin to shape my life, was losing my father. And then growing up as a child, I felt like I always had this missing piece in my life, And I grew up in a bad neighborhood, the Weekway section, which has a bad rep for a lot of crime and stuff like that. But there's also some good in it too, as well, But you can't have the good without the bad and the bad without the good. This universe is built on duality. And so I was growing up in a single parent household with two other siblings. My little brother, who is now, I believe, 13. I think he's 12 or 13. I'm not sure, one of them damn ages, man. But he wasn't born yet. So, at the time I was the youngest. And yeah, and I had a family structure, though honestly it was very dysfunctional. A lot of people in my family abused drugs, abused alcohol. It was pretty tough, man, growing up. And then when I was in school, I would get picked on all the time. I always used to get bullied, harassed. And the same thing what happened to me at home. And like that really took a hit on my self-esteem and my self-confidence growing up. And when I got older, that really took its toll on me because of all the psychological damage I had done to me at a young age, because I was getting picked on, because I was getting harassed, because I was seeing things that I really didn't want to see. Growing up in a fucked up neighborhood, bottom of the bottom, living in poverty. My people, they did what they could, you know what I'm saying? But still, like, we still was gripped by that reality of, like, not having enough, always living in lack. And that's where most of my strength comes from, my past, everything I've been through. And it's a lot, to take in. It's a lot to explain. I could sit up here and do it for days, man. But yeah, growing up, I had a pretty good childhood, but at the same time, it was a whole lot of bullshit. But nevertheless, I still pushed through. And then, I say when I was like 7 years old, I was diagnosed with Asperger's, which is a form of autism, though it's at the low level. Because here's the thing, right? They have something called the autism spectrum. The lower you are on the spectrum, I think the higher you are on the spectrum, I think the more susceptible you are to autism, and the lower you are on the spectrum, the less. Nobody would know that I have a form of autism. Nobody would really know that because, it's at the low level. But Asperger's does affect how you communicate and how you interact with others. And growing up, I was a very shy kid. I didn't have a lot of friends. Sorry about this wind, man. I'm sitting outside on my balcony. It's cold, it's rainy, but I'm still out here for y'all to, tell my truths and to tell y'all about my life and how I feel about everything. So yeah, and then growing up, I always would be called names. Kids would call me retarded. They always make fun of me. My dad being dead. And I had nice stuff, you know what I'm saying? My moms and my people, they would get me stuff. They give me nice clothes, nice shoes. You know what I'm saying? I never had to worry about being homeless, thank God. But just because, like, I didn't have those struggles, don't mean I didn't have other struggles as well. And, it was pretty tough growing up. It really was, man. It's hard to explain, but it really was tough. And I didn't have my dad. I had, like, an uncle who was like a father figure to me. He was like my dad. But again, more on that later as well. He would, like, give me $40 for lunch money. Say, here, go buy whatever you want. And I didn't even ask him for stuff. He did a lot for me, and I commend him for that. But, he met his demise, and we're going to talk about that soon. So, throughout the years, I would be getting into fights. I would be getting sent home every day. And because kids kept picking on me, you know what I'm saying? And I would tell the administrators, like, yo, these kids won't leave me alone. Do something about it. And they would reprimand them here and there, but it really didn't work because the same shit would just keep happening. And I felt like the administrators was in on it too. They tried to tear me down as well because they knew everything I was going through. They knew everything I was struggling with throughout the years. And I feel like these people, they built up all these files on me, and they would later use that against me. So let's take it to I want to go around the time that I started middle school. Around 6th or 7th grade was when my life really started to go toward a downward spiral. At least to my knowledge, it did. I struggled with depression a lot. You know what I'm saying? I had behavioral problems because I was getting picked on in school and at home. I'd be called all sorts of names, and it really, to this day, some of that stuff people said to me still sticks. And that's a very traumatic experience. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting harassed all the time, getting bullied. But you scared to go to school because you afraid that you might not even come home. Like, I lived in that kind of environment, man. It was tough. And when I was 7 years old, I saw a fucking dead body in the street. I was 7, man. I saw a dead body laying right in the street. because I think me and my siblings and my mom, I think we was all going to the store or whatever, and then the street was taped off, and I looked and I saw the ticket tape. It was a dude with a white shirt. He was laying right in the street. And when I was a kid, I looked. I ain't think really too much of it, but now that I'm older, it makes a lot of sense. So like, all right, let's go back to 6th, 7th grade, was when my life really started to change. I say around like the summer of 2011. You know, my mom, we moved out the Wheatway section, and we moved to a different part of Newark, because like we would go from project to project. Nothing really was different except the fact that like the size of the rodents and the clogs of the pipes. That's the only thing that was different, man. You know, and then my mom, you know, she struggled with a lot too, because she was a single parent and she was working. She would work in the shop, and she was a hairdresser, and she worked long hours, and she wouldn't see us until like she came home, and by then we always in the bed sleeping, and then we had to get up the next morning. She had to get us ready, send us to school, and then she had to go to work, and then I had to go to my grandmother's house until she got off work. So that was also an interesting experience within itself. And also my mom, you know, she developed the alcohol addiction, and then, you know, she would be dating these different dudes, and they would abuse her. They would do all kinds of stuff to her. And at the time I was young, I didn't really understand what was going on, but when I got older, it made sense. So let's go to the summer of 2011. I moved out the Wheatway section, moved to University Heights, which is basically in the downtown area of my city. I moved there, and I'm still there to this day. It's a very nice area. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm by the colleges or whatnot. And yeah, it's a cool area. It's a townhouse. You know, when we first got here, like, I was blown away by how the house actually looked. You know, it was a full balcony, a backyard, laundry room, 3 bedrooms, and each bedroom had a big ass closet in it. And like, it was a very nice house, man. And I knew my mom was gonna get the house. I knew she was gonna get it the day she took me there. You know what I'm saying? And I think like a couple days later, you know, Section 8 gave her keys to the house, and we packed up all our shit and we moved. But like, that was really challenging, because like, not only did I move out the neighborhood that I was familiar with, because like the Wheatway section was all that I knew. You know, I really ain't go too many places outside of Newark when I was younger. Yeah, I go to Irvington to go to the doctor and stuff like that. But like, I really didn't leave New Jersey until I was like in my adolescence. It was when I really got a taste of being away from home. You know? And yeah, I think I went to a few trips to New York when I was younger, but I don't really count that. But you know, it was tough, because I had to move to a different neighborhood, and I didn't know the area. I didn't know anyone, anything. And I said to my mom, like, why you take us out the hood? You understand? Like, I'm not familiar with this. Like, I don't like this area. At one point I didn't, but as I got older, I come to appreciate what my mom really did. You know, because she got us away from that shithole. You know what I'm saying? She got us away from all that violence, all those drugs, all that crime. But at the time, I didn't understand. So then I started the 7th grade. You know, it was tough. I was tough, man. I had to get up every morning at 6 in the morning. I had to get up so I could catch the bus. Like, I had to catch a bus, you know, to go all the way across town to my school, because I still went to my elementary school, you know, in the Southwood, and I had to go like catch a bus, get up early as hell just so I could get there on time. And then, you know, me, my brother, and my sister, we had to go to my grandmother's house and whatnot, because the bus stop was right there. So, you know, and that was tough too, because I still was getting picked on in school, and it didn't help that my siblings was taking dips on me either. And right around 2007, I know I'm jumping from timeline to timeline, 2007, my little brother was born. And that was new experience as well. You know, I was now the middle child, and that came with a lot. And I say, like, around that time, like, it was very hard for me, you know, going into the 7th grade or whatnot. I was still struggling with depression. You know, I was in and out of the therapist's office. They had me on medication. I tried to get off medication. They wouldn't take me off it. You know, I felt like I didn't need that shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the happiness, you know, all that stuff, it would only be temporary. And then, you know, those symptoms would come back along with the side effects. I'm like, this ain't helping me. You know what I'm saying? And so I just had to deal with it because I was young. And yeah, man, that year was tough. Because I was going through a lot. You know? And plus, I was getting harassed at school. I was getting picked on constantly. And mentally, that did a lot to me. Like, that really fucked me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, only if you was in that position, you would understand. You know? And, I had my first suicide attempt when I was 10. You know, my aunt had walked in and caught me trying to jump out the window. And she told my mom, and, you know, I got chastised for it, but, you know, hey. So, I want to say 8th grade, around 7th, 8th grade. You know, my mom, she had met this dude. He was a garbage man. I won't say his name for obvious reasons. But, she had met this dude. They was talking. And, she married him. And I noticed something was up. Because the dude would come by, you know, during his shift. Or he'd be on a garbage truck. But then he would just show up at the house. Like, and one time, I went to go check the mail. I found money in the mailbox. I'm like, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? And I guess, you know, she was with him for his money or whatever reason. But then that shit went downhill real fast. Because I think they got married in New York. And then, like, because she didn't know, she would find out that he had a wife. He actually was married to somebody else. And he had, like, mad kids. And she found this shit out. And that shit caused a lot of problems. And then her kids, you know what I'm saying? The dude that my mom was with, you know, his ex-wife, you know what I'm saying? She come around here starting all this drama. Trying to fight my mom, trying to fight us. And I remember one time, you know what I'm saying? She had her and her children break into our house. They kicked our door down. They vandalized our house. And they was in there fighting my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that shit was traumatic for me. And I was like, what, 12 or 13 at the time. I'm just standing there looking at this shit like, what the fuck? Like, that shit really was traumatizing. And then she had this nigga living with her. And then, you know what I'm saying, he would be abusive. He would be stalking her, all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? We always had to fight this dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. And it got to a point where my mom started to choose another man over her own children. And she would be staying out at nights at a time, you know, getting drunk, all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? And then right around when I got into high school, this shit escalated. You feel me? Because, like, my siblings moved out. And so it was just me and my little brother and her. And she would bring him in here. And then, you know what I'm saying, she would be sitting here giving me shit, you know, trying to, you know, do some wicked shit to me. You know, she wouldn't say nothing to him. And then whenever I bring him up, she get mad. You know, she try to take my phone and all this other stuff. You telling your siblings what I'm doing. You better not tell nobody all this other stuff. You know, threatening me, making me feel like a prisoner in my own house. I'm looking at my mom like, yo, who are you now? I don't even know you anymore. And that shit really affected me personally because I felt like my mom didn't love me anymore. Like, that shit really hurt. Like, only if you was in that situation, you would understand. They're now divorced, but it was bad. And right around 8th grade, I was still going through my struggles. And then, like, a month after I started the 8th grade, you know, I was admitted into the hospital, you know, because I had a mental breakdown. And then, yeah, I faced stigma from my family, talk about, there's nothing wrong with him, he acting crazy, all this other stuff. Man, I don't give a fuck about that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I got stigma from my own family because I was going through some challenges in my life and I needed help. And I wanted their support and they didn't want to support me. You know what I'm saying? And they got mad because, like, I would go to the counselors in school and I tell them everything that was going on at home. I'm like, y'all don't want to listen to me, so I'll find people that will. You feel me? But, yeah, it was crazy. And then, you know, the situation with my mom's husband only got even worse from that point on. And so, like, shit, let me think. I'm trying to, like, piece everything together. There's so much to talk about. But, yeah, man, you know, 8th grade was really a challenging year for me. You know, I still was getting harassed in school. And I remember there was this boy, you know what I'm saying? I was in the bathroom. I had, you know, got into it with him before, but, you know, it was just one day I was just chilling in the bathroom. You know, because that was my thing when I was in 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to go to class or nothing like that or lunch. I just sit in the bathroom. Because, like, none of the kids ain't like me for whatever reason. I didn't have any friends. I try to sit at the table with people. They tell me, oh, you can't sit at this table. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? I had to sit alone. Like, that shit made me feel some kind of way. And for the longest time, I did not want to go to the cafeteria. I was at the guidance counselor office, child study team office, or when I couldn't go there, I just would sit in the bathroom until lunch was over. And then I'd just go to class. And yeah, I had a personal aide. I hated that shit. I think I had talked about this before. I'm not sure. But yeah, I had a personal aide. They gave me that shit in 7th grade. I told them, like, I don't need this shit. Like, I'm like, y'all know I'm having problems in the classroom. Like, y'all know I'm having problems with the children. Like, I'm capable of functioning. I guess, you know what I'm saying? They didn't believe that. They didn't want to hear that shit. So, you know, they had me walking around with somebody holding my hand all the fucking time. I used to hate that shit. It was so embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was really humiliated. I always had to walk around with somebody with me. And I couldn't go nowhere unless I had that person with me. Like, that shit was really fucking irritating. It really fucking was. And the kids would make fun of me because of it. And when I got home, it wasn't no different. And then my mom, you know, my sibling, they threatened me to put me in a special classroom. And I remember my 10th grade geometry teacher did that same shit. Because I had an IEP. You know, because I was sleeping in her class. She threatened to, I'll put you in a special class if you sleep in my class again. All this other shit. I'm like, really? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck y'all. Y'all gonna use that shit against me? You know what I'm saying? For something that wasn't my fault? Like, fuck y'all. Fuck you and your whole family. Y'all could go to hell and die. I don't mean to talk like that, but that's how I felt at the time. And I had this file, these records on me. They used all this shit against me. Administrators, the teachers, all that. And that shit had jeopardized my chances of getting into the school that I wanted to get into. It was a vocational school. Very good school. I passed the test and I got in. I had the acceptance letter and everything. Then the fucking come to find out told me I can't go there because I got an IEP. And then I go there. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, y'all trying to stop my future? Like, oh, the reason why we did that was because, you know what I'm saying, we're afraid that you won't be able to function properly when you get in that set. And I'm like, are y'all fucking kidding me? Like, y'all really gonna jeopardize my whole future? Like, I wanted to go to this school. That's what I really wanted. And y'all took that away from me. That wasn't fair. And then the bullying was so bad. Like, I wanted to transfer schools. And they wouldn't even let me transfer because of my fucking IEP. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That gonna have me suffer like this? No, I was dealing with a whole bunch of demons. You know, going to school, going to work. Well, not work. I wasn't working at the time, but like going to school, staying at home. Like, I dealt with a bunch of fucking demons, man. A lot of people try to stop me, tear me down, because I feel like the reason why I would get picked on in school, I would always get harassed, was because they saw my light. You know, they knew the person I was becoming. And because they knew the person I was becoming, they didn't want me to tap into that power that I had. And all the people around me, like even people that I love the most, try to stop me. Like your own blood relatives, you couldn't even trust. They use your own problems against you because they were so fucked up. But yeah, let me go back to that story about the boy that I got into it with. So right, you know what I'm saying? This boy with his little friends, they walk into the bathroom. I'm just in there chilling, you know, I'm just relaxing, and they glaring at me. I'm looking like I ain't say nothing at first. They glaring at me, and then he started talking shit. I'm like, excuse me? And he had his little homeboys with him popping all this shit. I'm like, y'all want to fight? We could fight right motherfucking now. So like, I went back to the classroom after I got into it with these boys. I was angry. I was irritated. And then the teacher pulled me to the side like, yo, what's going on? So they took me in the hallway and they talked to me. And then I saw that same boy, he came back, he was talking shit to me. I'm like, yo, you want, like, let's fight right now. I'm like, you talking all this shit. I'm like, put some motherfucking hands up, you bitch ass nigga. And he like, trying to mock me and shit. That's the one thing they used to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a very deep voice. You know, I got some nice lips. But, you know what I'm saying? They're like, do this to me. Like, they basically mocked how I looked, mocked how I talked. Like, that shit would piss me off. Like, when I was in 7th grade, the vice principal I had at the time, he would do the same shit, walking in the class in front of all the children. And that shit was so embarrassing. I didn't like that, man. So, like, yeah, got into it with this boy. I went down to the guidance counselor. And they called my mom, you know what I'm saying? They called my uncle and shit. My uncle had came and got me. Because I didn't feel comfortable walking home by myself. Because I knew how that little nigga was. You know what I'm saying? He probably would have did some shit to me. So, like, I had my uncle come pick me up. And so, and we walked past him. And I looked at him like, I'm like, yo, that's the boy that was fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever have you. And then, you know what I'm saying? I think, like, I took a couple days off. I think this was the weekend. I'm not sure. It was so long. This was, like, back in 2012, 2013, I want to say. It was a minute ago. So I'm still trying to piece everything together. And so, like, me and my sister, we walked the Family Dollar. You know, we got some stuff. And then we was coming back. Like, I saw this, like, the minute I come out the fucking store, I saw that boy. And he had a bunch of these grown-ass niggas with him. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm looking at this nigga. And I just turned my head. I ain't see him. And he was like, yeah, dead his ass right there, trying to turn his head. I'm looking like, what the fuck? I'm like, I looked at this nigga like, really? You really gonna get some grown-ass men to fight a 14-year-old boy? I was 14 at the time. I'm like, I knew that little nigga was a punk. But I ain't want to fight nobody else but him. I'm like, I want to fight you. I don't give a fuck who you bringing. Like, I want you, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Pause. But yeah, man, I wanted to fight him. And then my sister was like, is that the boy that you got into it with? I'm like, yeah. And she called my mom and she told him everything. Her everything. And then my mom, she called, I think, one of my cousins. And then, you know, he brought his niggas with him. And then they had straps and shit in the car. We was gonna fuck them niggas up. But by the time we went back around there, nobody was there. Typical, right? And so I you know what I'm saying? So I went to school that following week. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't in school for like a week, I think. And the kids, you know what I'm saying? They act like they all in my motherfucking business. They act like they know everything that's going on in my motherfucking life. I'm like, y'all know shit. Like, fuck y'all. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna fight him, but then the principal was like, no, don't do that. Only because the principal told me not to fight him. Cause I was gonna get that kid head. Like when I went back to school that Monday, I'm like, when I see this nigga, I'm gonna punch him right in his motherfucking face. I'm gonna knock his ass out. You know what I'm saying? But then my principal was like, nah, I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want you to get suspended. All this other shit. You know, but they did look out for me. And after that, I don't think I had any more problems with them. Well, actually, a slight problem because, like, one time I was sitting in the guidance counselor office, right? And then the boy I got into it with and his other two his little two friends, they walked past the office, and I looked at them like, and then they was in the principal office. They was talking like it's two caliphs, and then like I think because like it was another kid, because my name is Kali, but there was another kid named Khalif. You know, my name is without the F. They was like, oh, how it's two caliphs. Like that other Kali, they was talking about me. And the kid was like, I don't like him, all this other shit, talking all this shit. And then, because they didn't know, like, I was sitting in the next room, listening to them talking. And then him, first it was him. He came right out. He walked past me, looked at me. I gave him that look, like, what you want to do? They ain't do shit. And then it was another boy, he was light-skinned, he was tall. I looked at him, I gave him that look. He ain't do shit. And then was another boy. He was dark skinned. He was my complexion. He was a little shorter. And he looked at me like he wanted to fucking run. Like I was like, for real. I told the guidance counselor, like, I'll fuck all three of them up. I'll take them on my own. I'll drop all the asses. Because they was a grade lower than me. They was in the 7th grade. I was in the 8th. So yeah, I dealt with all that shit. Imagine that. You thought that was bad? I had to deal with that shit for 12 years on end, non-stop. Motherfuckers like that, them jealous ass motherfucking demons trying to stop me. You feel me? I dealt with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit was fucked up, man. I just was trying to, get my education, do what's right, and motherfuckers ain't want that because they just demonic. They had demons attached to them. They was jealous of me because I was smarter, I was more talented. My family wasn't the best, but my people looked out. Never they could, but I had it good. And they ain't like that. They was jealous of me. And that's why they did everything they could to stop me, to tear me down, to break me down. And so, I graduated high school. I graduated elementary school. So, that summer, like, it was a tough summer. I say, like, around here, it was a bloody summer. A lot of murders, a lot of violence. I think it was like more than 115 killings that year, 2013. A lot of people died that year out here, man. It was insane. And I was fearing for my life, I was writing in my little journal, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might not live that long, all this other stuff. And then I'm doing a whole high school process. I couldn't go to Newark Tech. That's the place I was going to go to, Newark Tech. The school I accepted, but because of my IEP, I couldn't do that. So I had to go to Eastside High School, which was a pretty good school. I'm going to elaborate more on that soon. So, I'm going through the whole process. That summer, I got getting ready for high school, whatnot. And then I go to Eastside High School, which is in the Ironbound of Newark. It's predominantly Portuguese section. A lot of immigrants, very nice people. At first, I was recalcitrant toward going to that school. I'm like, man, I don't want to be around all them foreigners, Yeah, I used to be young and I used to be ignorant as hell. I used to be just like that, yeah. I wouldn't say racist, but I used to be ignorant as hell. I'm like, man, I don't want to be around all them Portuguese people. But then when I got there, it wasn't so bad. They was pretty cool. But that don't mean I still didn't deal with problems. So, I started high school. It was a new experience. And I was afraid. Because, like, a lot of people tell me, freshman Friday, all this other shit. I'm like, what? Like, get stuff in the locker, pelted with eggs, wedgies, all this other crazy shit. Them tall tales about high school. And then when I actually got there for the first time, like, it was a pretty surreal experience. My mom was like, I'll see you later. And then, like, I'm walking through the building. I'm like, fuck. I was a bit lost at first. It took me about a week to find my way around the school. And then, after that week, I knew the school like the back of my hand. So it was a pretty nice experience, man. Freshman year was lit, bro. It really was. I met so many people. I started doing so many things. For the first time in my life, I had freedom. Because when I was younger, I didn't really have freedom. Because my dad died. My mom tried to keep me from going out and exploring the world. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't let me go places on my own. I couldn't even stand at a bus stop. I had to have somebody stand at the bus stop with me. Like, what? But by the time I got to high school, I guess she said, all right, he getting older. I can't hold his hand anymore. I gotta just let him go. So, I started doing things on my own. Though that wasn't easy. And I think about 2 or 3 weeks after I started high school, I was talking about how my uncle, he was a father figure to me. He got shot 13 times. Nearly almost died. And when that happened, like, that's when my life really started to take a downturn. Was when, a man who was like a father to me, he almost got his life taken away. Because he did what he did in the streets. I'm not going to talk anything about that. It's not for this video. But he had what he had coming to him, and, it was fucked up, man. And I started to see the true colors of my family. Like, if I didn't see their true colors then, I seen it in that moment. And a lot of people in my family, I started losing respect for that one reason. And then, everybody was beefing, everybody was arguing, fighting. I couldn't stand that shit anymore. And it's bad enough I was dealing with my own problems. And they didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? My family didn't give a shit about my problems. If anything, they used it against me. But still, I still went to the guidance counselor. I still was getting help. And I still was writing about my experiences. Now, I want to talk about the writing, too. Right? I started work, because I always was a writer. You know, I started content creating like 2009 when I had my first YouTube channel, which has been long deleted. I deleted that right around like I started high school. I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I felt like, you know what I'm saying, this whole YouTube thing didn't work for me, so I decided to do something different. So, you know, I started focusing more on my writing. You know, when I was younger, I'd be writing comic books and shit like that. I was a pretty smart kid. You know, I wasn't an idiot. I just was around a lot of negativity, and that shit rubbed off on me. And I was becoming a product of my environment. And so it wasn't until like I started working on this one project that changed my whole life. I did a video about this some months back, but I'll recap it. So like I started writing this book. It was called The Ballad of Sidney Hill. This would be the first book that I published independently. I did that. I published the book in 2014, just a month after starting my sophomore year of high school. You know, that's when my career really started as a professional. Right around that time, you know, it was when my life started to change for the better, of course, but that wouldn't be without its challenges. So, right, you know, I got through my freshman year. You know, I was still working on the book. I suffered from writer's block. You know, I reached points where I wanted to give up. I didn't want to do it anymore. But, you know, I still stuck it through. And then, after that, right, you know what I'm saying? It was, so, like, it was, sophomore year. And I say sophomore year was very different from my freshman year. That's when shit really started hitting the fan in my life. My depression would come to a head. Problems at home. And just a bunch of other shit. Then I put this book out, you know what I'm saying? And I shopped that shit around once I did that. And I told everybody. I told my moms, I told my family, I told my principal, everybody I could like get in touch with. I was telling them, like, yo, man, I did this. And they shouted me out on the morning announcements, you know, at my school. They gave me a shout out. I'm like, oh, shit. And then I walk in the classroom, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, yo, you published a book? I'm like, yeah, why? You was on the announcements. I'm like, I know. And then, you know what I'm saying? I'll be getting a lot of questions about... Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I had to get that off there. So, as I was saying, you know, they'll be asking me a lot of questions about, like, how did I do it, all this other stuff. But then shit really started to hit the fucking fan. Because then motherfuckers started asking me, how much money am I making? Am I rich? Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, no, I'm not. I just fucking published a book, like, a few weeks ago. No, I ain't a fucking millionaire, damn it. And if I was rich, trust me, I wouldn't be in this motherfucking city, in this motherfucking state, in this motherfucking school. So, you feel me? Yeah, so I had to deal with that, man. And then with that came a lot of hate, a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy from my classmates. No, I get picked on, like, ha ha ha, he's a book writer. He likes to write. He likes to do what he loves. No, they will harass me because of this shit. Talk about my book is a flop. I can't write. All this other shit. You know what I'm saying? They pick on me for that. And then my junior year of high school, they did the same shit. But it got even worse from that point on. I remember it was this one kid who told me, like, my book is a fail. It'll never sell. I'll never be successful. All this other shit. Like, these motherfuckers I was going to school with, they was haters, man. They really was some fucking demons. They was haters. They was satanic as hell. And they was just mad because they weren't doing shit with their lives. And so they wanted to stop me. But you know, I'm the chosen. I'm anointed. You can't stop the anointed family. So, like, you know, that was tough too. And then the shit at home wasn't getting any better. You know, my mom with a fucked up ass man. You know, I had to come home every day, them fighting, all that shit. Cops had to come, all this. It got to the point where the cops was like, man, look, we ain't coming back here again. Y'all gonna fight, y'all better go take that shit in the street. We tired of writing these reports. You know what I'm saying? It'd just be the same shit over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then let me go back to my freshman year. I don't think I talked about this on the video, but like, I witnessed my mom get sexually assaulted when I was still a freshman in high school. Cause, like, you know, it was this other dude she was fucking with from back in the day. He dead now. He overdosed off cocaine. But, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was coming to him. But, you know. And then, like, this dude, like, because he was a registered sex offender. He was already a pervert. We knew that. But, like, you know what I'm saying? It was tough, man. And I witnessed her get sexually assaulted by this man. Like, if it wasn't for me standing right there, he would have did what he did. He was trying to rub on her and shit like that. And I remember, like, a couple days go by, a couple weeks. Like, I was talking to detectives. You know what I'm saying? They had me talk about, all right, everything, like, tell them everything you saw, whatever. So I did that. Matrix. But, yeah. I did that, and that was a tough experience. I think, like, what, a year or two later, he died. He overdosed off cocaine. So, you know, that was that. But, yeah, back to my junior year of high school, I was still writing more books. That was really when, like, I started getting glimpses of what I'm doing now. A lot of stuff. Around that time, I think I had started working. I was like 16, 17. I got my first job. It was a little summer job. I was working for a church. It was a church. It was a summer program. You know, that was pretty cool. I did that. And, you know, it was, you know, and I went through that. That summer, you know, I was doing a lot with my work. You know, I was trying to shop my stuff around, spread the word, get some support. Yeah, man, you know. And then, no, I got my first job when I was transitioning into the 11th grade. This was the summer of, was it 2015, that I actually got my first job. I just finished my sophomore year. Let me rephrase that, my bad. Yeah, just finished sophomore year. And I had to go, get a job, summer job. Made some good money. Wasn't too bad. You know, my little paycheck. So, and then junior year started. I was tough too. As I just said, you know, motherfuckers was picking on me because, you know, I was doing my thing with my writing. And I'm just a young black man trying to come up. And the motherfuckers, they was jealous of that. So, and then I remember, what was it, September? I had met the mayor. I think it was my junior year. I had met the mayor. Yeah, I met him, and, you know, we was chopping it up. We was talking. And I think, like, once the summer of junior year, going into my senior year, I had this friend that I met, which was the son of this teacher that I had. Well, he was like a substitute teacher. So I was in my history class, and my teacher, she would bring, I don't want to call him old, but, you know, he was elderly. This elderly guy, you know, he was retired. He was a stockbroker, you know. He was very educated. And, you know what I'm saying, when I first met him, I looked at him like, who is this guy? Like, who the hell does he think he is? You know what I'm saying? But as I got to know him, you know what I'm saying, he taught me a lot. He was cool. His name was Mr. Sinowitz. He's still alive to this day. We still talk every now and again. But, you know, he was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? He showed me a lot. You know, he told me that I had a lot of potential. You know, he did a lot for me, and I appreciate him. And his son did the same. So, like, I met his son, you know what I'm saying? Because I was working on a memoir at that time, and I wrote something about Mr. Sinowitz, and then I guess he sent it to his son. And then his son had reached out to me, sent me an email, a heartfelt email, thanking me, things of that nature. And so, you know what I'm saying? Then I think we met like a month or two later. You know, we was in the lobby, we was talking. And then I think that summer he was interning for a newsletter. And he hit me up like, yo, you know what I'm saying, I need a story. I was wondering if I could interview you and talk about everything you doing with your books and shit like that. And really, I gotta say, that was my first major break. Well, to me, it's my first major break. Because, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa, for real? You want to interview me? I'm like, all right, cool, bet. So, you know what I'm saying? I had my little Android phone at that time, you know. I had recorded our phone call. I still got it to this day. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one day I could probably share it or something like that. I still got that phone call to this day. You know, because he was overseas, and you know, we was talking on the phone. We had our interview. He asked me questions, and I guess, you know what I'm saying, he went back and wrote it up. And within a couple days, the article was done. He put it out. That shit, I got so much love, so much support. You know, I got spread it around. Like, for real, I even sent it to the mayor. And the mayor was like, he got back to me. He was like, I want to book you for a signing. I was like, a book signing? You kidding me, right? You fucking with me, right? And like, you know what I'm saying? That whole shit unfolded, and I met his assistant. Cause like I was doing things with the mayor, you know what I'm saying, that whole summer. You know what I'm saying? I was doing shit with him that whole summer, man. Like that's how I knew like I was really coming up the ladder. Like I met the mayor, you know what I'm saying? I was doing all this bitch shit. You know, people was interviewing me. People wanted to know more. Like, yo, who is this kid? What does he do? So like, yeah, this shit going on 45 minutes. But hey, I could talk all day. I know it's a little bit long, but hey, I don't care. I gotta tell my story. I gotta talk my shit. So, you know, yeah, that whole summer, it was great. There was a lot of events, you know, they put me on the spotlight. I was getting rewards and stuff. And then, I think it was August 26, 2016. I remember this day vividly. That was the day of my first book signing. And, like, it was a new experience for me. Because, like, at that time, I wasn't used to getting in front of people and talking. Honestly, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. When I was sitting there signing books, I was fucking petrified. I was scared. Because, like, I wasn't used to all that attention. You know, all these media cameras, all these people coming through. Like, it was rough. I'm like, whoa, like, this is crazy. Is this going to be my life? I just wasn't used to none of that. And I had met a lot of powerful people, you know, during that event that to this day I still talk to, and we've done a lot together. I met one of my mentors there, and I met some other guy, you know what I'm saying? He a filmmaker. He do a lot in the Newark community for the arts, you know. He very cool dude. His name is Gary. He cool as hell, man. So like, and then I remember, like, you know, my family came, strangers came, even some of my old teachers, you know, came. My kindergarten teacher came, my history teacher from my freshman year came. Like, I got so much support and love. And then my principal from my elementary school came. I was like, holy shit, people fucking with me. And then I took a picture with the mayor. And then one of my other mentors, his name was Zaki. You know what I'm saying? He had, like, took a picture of me. And they had something, like, called the Future Project. Go look that up. And, like, down, like, where the old detention room was at. Because they moved the detention room upstairs in my high school. And with the old detention room, they turned that shit into a whole maker space. Like, they had 3D printers, all that. And next thing I know, a couple days after the signing, I come to the fucking school. It's a fucking cardboard cutout of me in the fucking lobby. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Y'all doing this? They did a cutout of me in the lobby. I'm like, holy shit, man. I'm like, thank y'all. Tell you, thank you. You know what I'm saying? That was very nice, you know, to do that. That's how I knew I made it, bro. That's how I knew. I'm like, yup, I'm in the right profession. And then guess what? When school started, well, before that, like, they did like a whole ceremony for me. And like back then, I really ain't like to talk in front of people. I wasn't as confident in myself as I am now. Like, they like, just say something. I'm like, what's up? That's all I said, man. I got off the stage. I got the fuck up out of it. You know what I'm saying? They did a nice ceremony for me at the school with all the faculty, the staff. It was beautiful. And then when school started, I walked in. Like, I tried to be seen. I didn't want to be seen by nobody. Like, cause I was shy about it. You know, having my cutout in the lobby. I was shy about that shit. You feel me? I was trying to avoid people as much as I can. When I walked into my first class, people like, yo, that's him. I'm like, that's who? What the fuck y'all talking about? That's the author. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck y'all talking about? I'm just going to class. And then guess what? That's when my life really started to change. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, fuck. Damn, this shit 50 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to split this up into multiple parts, unfortunately. Because I'm not sure if, you know, if anybody would be comfortable with, no, fuck it. Nah. Now, we going to get through this motherfucking shit. I ain't saving it for another video. I'm going to tell it all all in one, baby. Nah, fuck that. I ain't cutting down shit. But anyway, you know, like that's when shit really started to change in my life. Same people who was fucking harassing me, picking on me for doing what I love was giving me props. Talk about, oh, congratulations, everything you doing with the mayor, da da da. Niggas on my dick. Even people I ain't fucking talking to, that never said nothing to me. You know, congratulate me, talk about, you know, I got some good work and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, thank you. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I get through my senior year of high school. I was going through it. I still was having problems at home with my mom and shit like that. I still was going through depression. And then that's when I started, like, really smoking weed heavy. Like, around that time, like, that's when I really started, like, hitting the blunt heavy, you know, because of the stuff I was going through. And that provided me a sense of comfort. And yeah, to this day, I still smoke. But, you know, that shit had provided me with comfort. Because, you know, I feel like I wasn't getting that at home. You know what I'm saying? And then my only haven was the arts. So I kept going full force with that. Going full force with that. Going full force with that. You feel me? And then, you know, I finished high school, graduated, and then I was getting ready to go to college. And then, you know, during that summer, you know, I was setting some things in place. I was working. I was still working summer job. I actually had a job when I still was in high school, my senior year. I was working for Planned Parenthood. I talked about that. I was working for Planned Parenthood, and they had a division called Teen Links. You know, they did a lot of community work, organizing stuff like that. It was a very fun experience, and they knew I was a writer, you know, and they helped me promote my platform. You know, they would have keynote speeches and all that. I would be the presenter, and that shit was new for me. It was scary. I wasn't used to getting in front of all them damn people. Like, I just wasn't used to that kind of attention. It was crazy for me, man. But yeah, I got a lot of love, a lot of support, and people was really digging what I was doing. You feel me? So I finished high school or whatever. And that summer, you know what I'm saying, getting ready for college. And then I start college. I went to Berkeley College, which is here in Newark. You know, I went there for business administration. I graduated last year with my associates in business administration. So yeah, I have a business mind, and I went to school for that. So yes, y'all need me to write y'all business plans, let me know. So yeah, but when I take a couple weeks after I started school, I found out my aunt got sick. She had cirrhosis of the liver, you know, from drinking a lot. And then within a week, she died. You know, she deteriorated completely. And she died when that shit was the final nail in the coffin for my family. That shit really fucked us all up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody started fighting, everybody started fussing and shit like that. It was just fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, I still got through it. I finished my first semester strong. But my second semester, however, things took a downward spiral. Because, like, I was going through a lot as far as my aunt passing away and all the problems I was having in my family and my personal life. And that almost led me to my second suicidal attempt. You know, right like a couple weeks after my 19th birthday, I was going to kill myself again. So, you know, and I had a friend. His name is Brian, you know. Shout outs to Brian, you know. I love you, bro. You've been there for me. Thank you for getting me out the rut I was in. You know, he helped me, taught me out of suicide, as I did the same for him. So, you know, but that whole semester of 2018, I felt, of course, I felt it, yeah. So, but fuck, man, damn. All right, this shit 53 minutes. I know I was going to say I was going to put all this in one video, but I don't know if that would be possible. There's just so much to talk about as far as that second half of my life is concerned. So, yeah, I'm going to have to save it for another video, unfortunately. But, y'all stick around with me, and I'll see y'all soon.